Come on. There we go. Okay. Cool. I think it's working now. We'll just give people just a second to tune in. I know everybody's probably very upset about what happened, but I, on the other hand, am choosing to be positive in the wake of a 3-0 loss by the Utah Hockey Club to the New Jersey Devils today. It's Monday, October 14th, Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, however you call it. Maybe you have the day off and you've been enjoying some matinee hockey. I know I have been. I have the day off today, so this isn't a bad way to spend a day, I'll say that. Is my day ruined? Yeah, it is, absolutely. It certainly is ruined, and I don't know how any of us will ever recover. But you know, I think we really need to start thinking about this in a different way, okay? I really, truly, honestly believe that this is history we got to watch. We got to watch a historic moment for the Utah Hockey Club, and I am happy that I got to be a part of it. I got to be. I mean, that's kind of just what's fun. I'm trying out a new character, by the way. And if you're just tuning in, welcome to SLC Puck. This is a very lo-fi version of SLC Puck here in my apartment, not in SLC Puck Studios. You know, is the equipment as good? No, it's not. But think about it. This is kind of like my version of being on the road. You know, the Utah Hockey Club is on the road. They're struggling. Eli Stokes says he's dead inside. I'll say, hang in. Hold on, let me just drop this in there. Hang in there, Eli. Okay, there you go. Look, this is fun. Okay, I'm figuring out how this works. Okay, this is great. So yeah, I mean, I am trying out a new character right now, which I'm calling relentlessly optimistic, almost to the point of being delusional guy. And I feel lucky. I feel like we had a really fun week. The first game ever was last Tuesday. The first regular season game, I should say, was last Tuesday against the Chicago Blackhawks. It's been nothing but euphoria since then. You know, we've seen all these firsts. We saw the first goal in team history scored by Dylan Guenther. We saw the first win against Chicago, the first overtime win against the Islanders, our second first win in overtime. That makes sense, against the Rangers. We're seeing history right now, and the history we saw today was the Utah Hockey Club's first ever loss. Doesn't feel nearly as good, but it's still history nevertheless, and that's how I'm choosing to see it. But you know, Eric's right. You can't win them all. The chances of this team going 82-0 were slim, to say the least. And I really watching this game, I was like, man, if they could pull off this win, start 4-0, oh boy, I don't know what happened to my camera. Camera just went out, everybody. Hold on. See, the equipment here is a lot less good, let's say, than the others. Okay, like this is hilarious. Like I have a little light here on the camera, and it's flickering suspiciously. So I know you guys can hear me. Hold on, I can see that you guys can hear me. Yeah, 81-1 would still be a really good season. I think that would still be a season we could all be proud of. Hold on, this is driving me crazy. I know you guys can hear me. 3-1 for road trip, not bad. Let's not forget the road trip's not quite over. Manic Brando, as you can see, no, I don't have OBS figured out because I thought I was cooking here for a second, but now I can you know what? This is probably a hardware issue that we're dealing with. So I'm going to keep trying to talk here, and we'll try to get it going here in just a second. See it? Yeah. See, you know what I got to do? I got to get like a new doggle. You know. Well, by the way, what's with Apple like insisting that we have like 800 doggles just to make like their very expensive technology work the way it should? You know what I mean? So now, I know you guys can't see me, but I'm frantically looking around my desk right now for another dongle so I can plug in my camera to another port here on my computer. Thank you for hanging in there, by the way. Keep going in the chat here, because there's there's a lot of stuff to talk about with this game. We will eventually figure out. Oh, see the camera. Okay. Yes. Okay, now I'm optimistic that we can get something going here. Hold on, everybody. I know you're being very patient with me. We might just have to switch to unplug the camera and plug it back in. Great idea. You know what? Let me just use the webcam on my computer, just so we can keep it rolling here. But yeah, as you can see, this is a very low budget operation we're working with here at SLC Puck Studios. But hey, I want to do the show. You guys are here. I owe it to you. Let me just see here, putting this in here, and look, we'll just do this. We'll just move this here, and you guys are getting a nice view of my apartment too. Yeah, isn't this fun? Lot of things to like about what's happening right now with this show. You guys are getting a real insider look. Okay, so yeah, now we're just going off the webcam here. We're back. Utah loses 3-0 to the New Jersey Devils today. Matinee hockey. Is it? Are we still gonna have a good day today, guys? You know, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. It's a time to really honor what that holiday means. I think it used to be Columbus Day, but now it's not. But you know, I think we can still find ways to make it a good day. But before we move on, you know, I personally am going to have a really good day because I'm flying to Orange County today, later tonight, and I'll be at the last game of the road trip, Utah Hockey Club taking on the Anaheim Ducks on Wednesday. So I will be at that game, which I'm noting because I know you guys might be used to me having like a midweek episode on Wednesdays. I just, you know, I mean, I'm already struggling enough with the technology as it is, so I'm not going to be able to bring my studio setup with me to the luxurious Anaheim Marriott. But I'll still try to just make something for you guys at that game on Wednesday. But again, history made today. We got to see the Utah Hockey Club lose for the first time. You know, I know everybody was so excited, so jazzed up. So many things that were said about this team and all the excitement. You know, like they came out of the gates super hot. Highest scoring team in the NHL, 16 goals in the first 3 games. Dylan Guenther scored, you know, 5 goals in the first 3 games. Pretty amazing stuff. Neither of those stats came in handy today. I mean, the Utah Hockey Club was stymied, stonewalled, if you will, kept scoreless in this defeat, shutout for the goaltender whose name escapes me. Sorry, I have my notes here. You know what I should do? I was taking notes. I might as well use them. Here is if you watch the game with me, it's still kind of joyless watching a game with me because I'm just mostly taking notes the whole time. So I've got about 4 or 5 pages worth of notes here, and we'll go through a good chunk of them. But yeah, in today's game, the Utah Hockey Club held scoreless. They were outshot 33-20 by the Devils. The Devils also out-hit Utah 28-8. And I think that tells sort of the larger story of the game. It was, and just to start the game from the beginning, Jake Allen, thank you, appreciate that. It was not their main goaltender who I had jotted down here at first. Jake Allen's their second goalie. Jacob Markstrom is their first goalie. He did not play. It was Jake Allen. So thank you, G7M9W. But in this game, you know, it was so interesting to watch it play out because the first 5 minutes of the game, I was like, wow, this like Utah Hockey Club is for real. And I don't know if you guys saw the entire game. If you did from the opening drop, I thought the Utah Hockey Club had a tremendous amount of energy right out of the gates. They were passing the puck really well, in particular through the neutral zone. The first like 3 or 4 shifts, I was like, man, these guys have some extra zhuzh. You know, I wonder if the Devils guys were up late watching the Sopranos and eating gabagool and, you know, weren't able to get perfectly situated for today's matinee matchup. But, you know, I mean, that did not last long. I would love to go back and watch the game and see what happened at a certain point early in the first period to sort of shift the momentum towards New Jersey. I don't know if there was like a big hit or, something happened after those first couple shifts where the assertiveness went New Jersey's way, and they held on to it the rest of the way for the entire game. They brought the game to Utah. They dominated pretty much all three zones. I could say definitely the neutral zone. And I thought at first the Utah Hockey Club did a really solid job of owning that neutral zone. But that only lasted a couple minutes. But I think we saw definitely the story of the game has to be Utah Hockey Club. Didn't make life easier on Karel Vejmelka. And yes, I did say that right. You're welcome. Karel Vejmelka, that was his first start of the season, and he got pelted with lots of shots and lots of shots in tough moments, right? So we see, they were outshot 33-20. Utah Hockey Club also committed 7 penalties, which resulted in 2 power play goals for the Devils. Way too many. Ian Cole in particular was penalized twice, and then a couple of a needless penalty, too many men, which drives coaches crazy all the time. And it was such the penalties came at a really bad time too. I think that was sort of the thing that I was noticing. Particularly, there were 2 that I thought came at a really bad time. It was near the end of the second period. The second period was the one where the tides really shifted towards New Jersey, where they definitely took control of the game. They scored 2 of their 3 goals in that period. But at the end of the period, Utah was having like a really strong shift. They were forechecking really well. They were probably getting their best opportunities yet in the game. You saw the line out there was Alex Kerfoot, Josh Doan, and Lawson Krause were out there, and they were doing a lot of good things. I think there was a chance they could have had a really good look at the net. Logan, you're totally right about the Jersey injury, and I'll get right to that. But that shift in particular, I was like, that's when Lawson Krause was given, I believe it was a roughing penalty right at the end of that second period. That sort of really put a big roadblock in Utah's ability to get back into the game. They started on the penalty kill in the third period. We're able to kill it. But it wasn't much longer into the third period that New Jersey scored a power play goal by Nico Herscher. Kolyachonok was out of position on that one. But to me that was the story. Was they had this moment where it looked like things might change, and they didn't. They got a penalty at a very inopportune time. It happened again late in the game. I thought there was another strong shift where there was a chance for Utah to get back in the game, and then Josh Doan got a penalty. Utah had the extra man advantage. They had an empty net. They were getting a lot of good looks, but he got a hooking penalty right there at the end. His dad's in attendance. His dad's livid. He's probably going to hear about it in the park. Did you guys, by the way, those of you guys who ever played hockey or any kind of sport, did you ever have like a teammate who had like a crazy dad? I don't know if Shane Doan is that guy. I get the feeling when we see more of T. Ginla, maybe next year or the year after, that we'll see Jerome Ginla be a little bit of the crazy dad. I think Jerome actually has like a front office job with another NHL team. It's escaping me right now. Again, it's high pressure when I go live here on SLC Puck Live. By the way, the stream seems to be working pretty good. Can you guys tell me how things are going right now? But anyway, so I think there were like a lot of questions that I had as this game went on, and to me, I think the big takeaway though that you have to look at, and I need to talk about the Sean Durzi injury in just a second, but I think you watch this team, you watch the New Jersey Devils take on how to do push-ups dad in T-ball. He was the worst. That's hilarious, Justin. Yeah, those dads are quite fun. I am not a father, as far as I know, that is my favorite joke to make about my parenthood status. But I wonder when and if that happens for me, the kind of hockey dad I'll be. My nephew might be getting into hockey when he gets a little bit older, so maybe I'll be a hockey uncle, and maybe I'll be deranged and be making the kids do push-ups in the middle of in between periods. So wouldn't that be funny? But I think what you take away from this game is, like, yes, Utah Hockey Club was off to a hot start. Yes, there were a lot of good things that were happening the first 3 games. 2 road wins, especially in overtime, were huge. But the New Jersey Devils are a team that, like, they are kind of like they were the preseason media darlings, as I put it in my preseason preview. If you read the Hockey News, which you should, because yours truly contributes to the Hockey News, and I work my butt off on that. You probably noticed that the Devils were picked to come out of the Eastern Conference this year and play in the Stanley Cup Final against the Dallas Stars, which is interesting because New Jersey did not make the playoffs last year. But the feeling is when this team is healthy, they made a couple big moves in the offseason as well to sort of bolster pretty much the entire lineup throughout the team. The feeling is New Jersey is like an upper echelon team. And so I think what you see here in this game is, like, this is Utah Hockey Club getting a good look at what that level looks like. And I think there are a lot of things to be learned. I think that Utah Hockey Club also had a lot of bad breaks going this game, not the least of which being the injury befallen to what's his name, Sean Dursey. Sean Dursey, by the way, took a picture with my nephew at the season opening kids event night thing at the Delta Center. So apparently he was very nice to little Kevin, my nephew. So thank you, Sean Dursey. I hope your recovery goes well. If you're new to hockey, you've got to get familiar with this term, by the way. There's 2. It's upper body and lower body injury. That's how they're going to describe every injury that happens, especially in the middle of a game or maybe even after when the diagnosis gets made. They're going to call them it's a very intentionally vague term, upper body, lower body injury. It looked to me on the replay like Dursey's arm kind of got pinched between the boards and the checker, and so I'm thinking it might be like some kind of wrist injury, and depending on the severity of that, might be a couple weeks, might be a month, might be no time at all, right? Maybe he just needs to rub some dirt on it. These hockey guys are very tough. It's hard to convince them to miss time due to injury, even if their eyeballs were hanging by their socket, hanging by their little cords out of the socket. Again, I didn't take an anatomy class, so I'm sorry, but it's going to be hard to convince these guys to miss time. But we might see Sean Dursey out for a couple weeks. I don't know this, but I mean that's just what I'm guessing, just thinking about how injuries sort of in the NBA work. But again, totally different sport. But I think that was really big for this game. I think we see Dursey really push the pace of play a lot. And Logan Chase is totally right. My good friend Logan Chase, who's watching this stream right now, is totally right. The Dursey injury really put the knife in the heart of the right there. He put the knife went right in. It stayed there. I think Dursey's ability to move the puck up, to push the pace of play was severely needed. He sort of adds an assertiveness that was definitely missed in this game. Dominic Moore talked so much about it. Matt McConnell did as well. Just New Jersey was way more assertive, way more aggressive. They really brought the game to Utah for pretty much all 60 minutes. And I think that made the result pretty fair. And I mean, you can see that assertiveness all throughout the box score here. I'm just pulling up the team stats right now on my second screen, if it'll work. Again, getting this going just makes my computer whiz and whirl like you would not believe. So we might need to invest in some better equipment here at SLC Puck's satellite studio. So if you want to support the show and help me get this better equipment, I would head to slcpuck.shop and buy one of my great t-shirts or hats. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I think it might get you a date. I am of the opinion that my merchandise certainly wouldn't hurt any of your chances of getting a date. So maybe it'll help, right? So we'll just have to see. But here, I got the team stats pulled up here. I mean, not only was Utah outshot 33-20, I mean, to me, like they weren't setting a tone physically. The hits were severely outbalanced, 28-8 for New Jersey. Surprisingly, Utah won the majority of the faceoffs. But I thought those last few, especially in the period, I wasn't sure how much effort New Jersey's centermen were putting into that. Power play opportunities were huge. Penalty minutes 14. Utah did a really nice job blocking some shots, though. I think they might have been overly aggressive at times, blocking 21 shots. New Jersey blocked just 9. But I think we saw, especially the goal given up. And again, look at this. I took all these notes here. The goal that was given up by Devin Mason early in the second period. Again, Utah got off to a horrible start in the second period. Ian Cole came out to block the shot, and that left Devin Mason alone in front of the net to pick up the rebound and send it home, and that put New Jersey up 2-0. So if I had one complaint about how the defense plays, and I think I've seen Mikhail Sergachev do this a few times. I saw Ian Cole do this. Kolyachonok did this as well. Valimaki. I think the whole unit needs to do a little bit of a better job clearing out the front of the net, getting body on body with the guy in front of the net. I think they're putting their eyes almost on the puck a little too much, if that makes sense. That's what it looks like to me. I thought one of the goals that they gave up to the Rangers looked like that as well. I can't remember who scored that one, but I remember watching Sergachev, and I think it might have been it must have been Dursey or someone that actually it might have been Valimaki. I'll have to go back and look, but I remember the puck was behind the goal, and I felt like their eyes were so fixated on the puck and the guy behind the goal, they totally missed the guy sliding into the shot behind them, sliding into the slot, behind them. He was wide open to put it in against the Devils, and that's like my very cursory memory of that. I really wish the defensive unit would do a better job of getting body on body in front of the net. That would be a chief complaint I have. But again, the box score kind of tells the story here. Utah gave the puck away way too much, 16 giveaways as opposed to 10 by the New Jersey Devils, and the giveaways were at a really awful place on the ice too. I saw, a lot of their breakouts. They were just about to exit the zone. It's probably the worst possible place you can lose the puck, other than maybe the front of the net. But they lost the puck as they were exiting the zone, right like in the seam, which is top of the circle to the blue line. They lost the puck right there, and so everybody's moving out of the zone to get out and to get into the neutral zone, to get on a rush, to maybe dump it in the zone, whatever. The entire team's momentum is heading out of the zone, and so to lose the puck right before you're defending blue line and giving New Jersey an opportunity to come in ahead of steam, and you're going the other way, that was trouble. I saw that happen way too many times for the Utah Hockey Club. So those breakouts have to be a lot crisper too. And again, it was such a shame because they started the game out so strong. I was really encouraged, especially the first line, which had Keller, Schmaltz, and Hayton. I was like, man, these guys are on point right now. These passes are tape to tape. They're crisp. They're getting to where they need to be. They're getting ahead of steam. But by the end of it, man, but I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but midway through the first period, that totally changed, and the game never went back to Utah's way, and history's been made. We saw the Utah Hockey Club lose their first ever game, and again, I am choosing to be relentlessly optimistic. Okay, even when bad things happen, I'm still happy as a clam. I got to see a hockey game in the morning on a Monday. I didn't have to work. I'm flying to freaking California tonight. I'll be at the game on Wednesday, so there won't be a podcast on Wednesday, but I'll do something for you guys, some sort of goofy in Anaheim. So, again, final score, New Jersey 3.